Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report, and starting with the ASX 200 here. In a bit of a nutshell, we know that resources are pushing up and the banks are pushing down. The banks are pushing down also in the US as well. What's driving the US is the tech sector, the Amazons and the Alphabets and so on. So with the ASX 200 here, as a pattern, it gets pulled between the finance and the resources. So sometimes it can get a bit sort of skewed, but I'm still one wave short. So the A wave is fine, the B wave is fine, but coming down through here, we're still one wave short. We've got a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So we're still short. I know that wave 4's pulled back up to the 38.2% retracement level, basically 40%, or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which is in here. But I've also known them to push up past the 40% into the 50% sort of area, and that's sort of where this particular market is here. So technically, I've really got to leave the wave 4 here unless the 5.9 here becomes a tested support. Okay, I can accept a little bit of a overlapping wave structure of wave 1 and 4, but not too much. I couldn't accept it if 5.9 became the support. In that case, we would have to look at this market, as I've mentioned before, with a little wave 3 just tucked in here, not here, but here, and a little wave 4 over here, and then a wave 5 here, which is not out of reach, but the bias for that is not really there. I can see that a low being in place, only in sort of one stock, and that's in the US, and that would be Alphabet. So when I bring Alphabet across here, and the reason for that is that this is a very clear A wave, ABC for the B wave coming up rather high, and then the C wave moving down through here. We could still call this wave 1 here and wave 2 coming back through here and coming down here further, but it's the only one that's really got a sort of complete pattern in here that's justifiable as being an ABC pattern and moving higher. So there's certain things that we would need to look at in here as well. So this would be the same for Amazon, which is also high on the cards as well, and others like Adobe and so on. So yeah, we need to see how it plays out at the 1-1 here, and the Amazon would be the same for the 1500 as well. So I'll just bring that across here because they are a bit of a leader in the markets here. So it's possible for them to push high, but I think we just need to just chill out a little bit here, and let's just see how these guys pan out through here. If they fail from here or give us a trigger to the upside here, if that's the case, then we can start being long in those sort of markets there. But we also need to allow the S&P to play out as well. So it's pushed a little bit higher. We'll just have a quick look at that. So a target to the upside, and my favorite number is the 2s and the 7s. So the 2720 here area here. So as long as that stays as the resistance, the price may move up into that area there, but I need to see it play out there for that. So once we get past this, then we can either be bullish or we can be bearish at that point. Currently with these markets, we're long because we need to stay with the current trend as such. So oops, I'll just put that there and go back the other way so I know where that is. So with this market here, like I mentioned, the resources are pushing higher, and I'll just use BHP chart for this because it's a little bit inclusive of resources generally speaking. But here we've got a nice wave A, B, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 down for the C wave of wave 4 here. So we are currently long in this market, but as I may have mentioned before, I wanted to see it dance around the 30 here, which is a major trading level, and it could certainly pull back into this space here. Not that it needs to cover gaps or anything, this particular market. and let's see it push up from there. So this would be, now we've got that little first high above the level there, that will be a bit of a catalyst to move into this market again through here, but let's just give it a little bit more time. But the strength is coming from this market where we're looking at the banking sector. One of the weaker banks that we've got, this is the Bank of Queensland, and we are short in this, and I was figuring it to move down to $10 here. I wouldn't turn long on this unless we had the resistance 1150 here, which is a medium level here. So it's quite bearish here, and this is the same for WBC here as well. This little move going up here, I have to say, for WBC and CBA are actually, can be read as an impulse wave, which would actually leave this as another, as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, and then down from here, as this trend's not finished. Yeah, I'm not sure quite sort of how to handle that just yet, but and this is CBA as well, so definitely in downtrends, but it does have like a little impulse wave here. It'll be interesting. I mean, Goldman Sachs and Morgans and so on, they're all down overnight while the S&P's up, so but it'll be interesting to see if we actually get another little 5-wave structure here, a little correction to 61.8, another one here, and then down from here, or we move up from here and we'll be bullish once we get that high in place and a kickback and a move up from that point there. But I need to stay with this bearish scenario. The ANZ doesn't have a 5-wave structure up to here. It has an A and a B and a C wave here. I know it's not moving up, but it's also sort of reluctant on moving down. The 2650 here is really important because it's the halfway mark between a minor level 8 here and a medium level 25 here. So this wave 4 may get a bit more complicated here, but it's certainly not finished here, because I can't count this down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then down for 5 here. It doesn't count well, so it counts better like this. So I still see our banks bearish, but this wave 4 here may play out in a little bit more complicated way, such as moving this here and having a wave C here and a wave 4 here. So an A and a B and a C for wave 4, for wave B here, and 5 waves up for wave C, and then we have our move down for this 5th wave here. So it can be counted in different ways. We're still in the wave 4. We haven't sort of dropped below our levels yet, but that weakness is on the banking sector, even though we may see it strong for a good few days coming. So our wave 4 pushing up here, we can see that it's, even overnight, where we see the other markets like Alphabet here push up quite strong here, going up into their 61.8% mark, but moving up quite strong. We haven't seen that in our market here. So we're still seeing this churning factor going over, like it doesn't want to move up here, but at the same time, I think it can move higher into the 5-9 sort of area here, and we'll just have a quick look at that. That's way 4-hour chart's not telling us much. So this is pretty much one of the counts that we've had in terms of an A wave and a B wave here, then 1 and 2, and then 5 waves up for wave 3, back for wave 4, and then looking for wave 5 up here. This is a really bit difficult to count here. I can count we've got 1 and 2 in here, and then this just gets really messy in here, and overlapping wave structures within here as well. So it can move up, but it's just I don't know if my 1-hour chart's got anything better in there. I mean, we're long, but and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here, then ABC for correction here. But and I can guess at counting this, but it's just really messy. We're getting a bit of an impulse wave here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I can see that we can go higher here, looking for this wave 5 over here. So I think that whoopsie-daisy, we do need to, address this moving up into this area through here at 5.9 here. But if this 5.9 becomes support, then we really need to consider the market moving up to 6,000 at that point. So let's just allow this to play out. We're seeing other Asian markets struggle as well, like the Nikkei here, even though it can push a little bit higher through here. We are looking at the Hang Seng here, so it's actually dropped here. So yeah, we had a short trade thing here last time we spoke, so it's been a very clear breakthrough here. The thing with this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so we're going to see this have some sort of A, B and C rally here before moving down here further. So yeah, let's just allow that. We'll need to work out where the 61.8% is. If you trade a short here, you'd have to get out at the major level, of course, but let's keep an eye on that. The other weak market here too is China. So we've seen also we were looking for wave 4 up here, if you may recall, and we're looking for a breach, a move lower. We've got that move lower. I haven't investigated this little bit here, so if it's 5 waves yet, it may be a little low of wave 3 up for wave 4 and move down here again. The other thing with this as well, which I now need to double check that we've got this in play, I think it's also possible to have this moving like this here. I just need to double check this. I just want to mention it now, that's all. So I move down here, another ABC pattern here, and then down through here, because this wave 1 and 2 is clear, not a problem, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave and the fifth wave here. So I need to go and investigate that. Now on the strong side, we've got India moving to the upside here. So the 50 and the 60% retracement level is higher through here, so it can also push up further here. But yeah, this particular correction, this particular move up through here would count as an A wave and a B wave. So that's an A wave and a B wave here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 moving up into this space here. So an A and a B here, and then 1 and 2 here, the third wave moving up, a fourth wave back, and a fifth wave to still move up. So it's still got further to move up here, and obviously it's running with the US market, so we need to, the S&P will play some strength in this. Alrighty, I'll just leave it at that, but as I mentioned, the US banks were weaker, so it was the tech stocks that were driving, but for us in Australia, we still see those resources need to edge higher in their own way, taking BHP and the mining stocks as such higher. Alrighty, cheers.